Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, this video has been a long time coming. I've been waiting for the weather to get to where I could get out here and do this. Finally have got rid of all of the water in the backyard. It doesn't squish up around your feet when you walk across it. So we're gonna get out here and beat on a knife today. It's probably 43, 44 degrees. I did start the stove and got it going. Oh, you'll have to bear with me as I feed wood into this thing. But the knife we're going to beat on today is the Concrete Fire Edition. This knife was sent to me by Justin from the Gear Shack. He wanted me to use it for a little while, play with it, mess with it, and give my take on it. I've done several videos on it. This will be the last one I do on it. And this is going to be the stump review. Now, like I said in a previous video, we as bushcrafters have a tendency to take knives that are designed for other uses and then try to turn them into bushcraft knives. This knife falls into that category. This knife is designed as a skinning / camp knife, not a bushcraft knife. So some of the tasks that I'm going to be using it for today, it's not designed for those purposes. But we're going to get out here, we're going to beat on it, baton with it. We're going to make curls and feathers and notches and points and see how it does with basic bushcraft tasks. If I can split this piece of wood down right, we may even see if we can do a bow drill divot with it and see if it's capable of doing stuff like that. With the point design of this knife, that may be a little more complicated than with other designs. But we're going to get out here and get started and see what we can do with this. So let me get you turned around here and get you set up here. And we're going to start out with Batani. This is not a real big piece of wood, but we're going to start out with it. I think this is a softwood. I think it's willow, judging by the bark. Right off the bat, I can tell you one thing that I can tell. With this upswept part here on the top, when you start batoning out on this end, it wants to drive the handle straight up in the air. Now this is S35V steel, or VN steel. The edge holding abilities of this knife are incredible. I've been very pleased with that. Oh. It's already got a natural check in it. We'll just split that out. This one does too. It's not having any problems actually doing the batoning, but like I said, when you start hitting out here, it wants to kick that handle straight up, so you have to fight that handle to keep it down level. I've got a couple more big pieces here. We'll split them down. Had to beat it through a knot. So I can't say I can complain with the work it's doing. It's doing the job that's being asked of it. Let's see if we can split this down to make a half board out of. Oh, hard piece of wood. It's didn't do too bad a job with it. Now, the tip is not in line with the center line of the handle. If it were, it should be about right there. So that tip being way up here is probably going to make this complicated. It's actually not doing as bad a job of it as I thought it would. I don't have a bow drill divot out here, or a bow drill shaft out there, spindle, so I can't put it in there and see how to do. But I can tell you by looking at it that that's deep enough that you can get an initial burn in with it. So I've got to say with that, I'm surprised it wasn't as complicated as I thought it would be trying to do that with it being offline. There's a good shot of how much offline it is. The center line of that point runs right up through there, so it's that much off its center line. But it was still able to do it, so that's a good thing. Oh, ow. How sharp did it stay? thing's still razor sharp. Still razor sharp. Let's see. So I think still razor sharp. I've got to say the S35E, and I have been very, very impressed with it as far as its edge retention. It does not have a 90-degree spine. Part of the reason for that is it's designed to be held in ways that are more conducive to skinning and processing meat. It is designed to be held more up on the blade to skin with, so that spine is rounded off for the most part. There's not a sharp spot anywhere on that spine that you could work a fire steel with. You'll have to forgive all of the dogs. Oh. That's a little uncomfortable on the finger because due to the sweep, to get where the sweet spot is to get the leverage, you're right on top of that jimping, and that jimping bites in pretty good when you're trying to make these kind of cuts. Let's see. Square notch was no problem. Seven notch, not an issue. Let's do a pot hanger notch and see what happens. Get all my tools up here. Bites in good. I have a feeling that the point is not going to be conducive to this, but we'll see. kind of a different way of doing this. Normally when I would do this, I would cut that notch, that point out there on the undercut with the tip of the knife. Was able to do it. That's a good thing. Let's see here. There we go. So, what do I think? If you're looking for a knife to do game processing, camp cooking tasks, and so forth, I don't think you can beat this knife. For what it's designed for, it does an outstanding job. Now, when it comes to bushcraft tasks, as you saw, it's capable of doing just about anything you need it to do. The two biggest complaints I have when it comes to doing bushcraft stuff with it is, one, this upsweep in it. If you're batoning with it, it wants to kick that handle up, and you're constantly fighting to keep that handle down level while you're batoning. And then the other thing is this jimping, especially this one up here. When you start doing a bunch of fine tasks and are levering on the back of that knife with your thumb and using that as a pivot point, those are just in the wrong spot and they want to dig into your thumb. Can it do bushcraft duties? Most definitely. We just saw that. So if you're wanting something that excels one place and can get by in another, this would be a good choice, especially if your main goal and main use is going to be as a skinning, hunting, camp cooking, food processing kind of role. This would be a great knife. Then, if needs be, in a pinch, it can also do the other. So if you're a hunter looking for a double duty knife, a knife that's designed for one but can do the other, has incredible edge holding abilities, then you can't go wrong with this knife. So there we go. We've thrashed on it quite a bit here. Excuse me. So there's my thoughts on it. What you saw don't lie. You can beat the shit out of this thing and it'll keep on going. So as a bushcraft knife by itself, I wouldn't, but that's just my opinion. if I was looking for, like I said, a camp chef hunting skinning knife that can do bushcraft tasks, by all means, go for it. It'll excel at that. But just as a bushcraft knife by itself, no, I wouldn't. There are a whole lot of other options out there that are better designed for that purpose. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out my other 3 videos on this knife, or other 2 videos on this knife. You can see in the second one especially, I do some food prep with it, and it is incredible at that. The one thing that has never changed with this knife is the handle. I love the handle on this knife. If Tops would make a bushcraft style knife with that handle, yeah, it would, I think, go over incredibly. So there you go. I'll get another one up for you soon. Like, share, subscribe.